January marks the first month of a new year, and this is the month wherein the resolutions are made and people get focused on trying to stay in good health and knock off the extra weight, thus making this month as Healthy Weight Awareness Month. So, in honor of the month of new beginnings, we at Medicircle have begun the series wherein we are interviewing the experts in the field of health and wellness to give out correct information to our viewers and readers. In this initiative, today we are speaking to Mehar. Mehar Panjwani is a clinical dietitian. She has been practicing since over 20 years and is also a writer, a speaker, a certified diabetes educator, and a plant based health and wellness consultant. She regularly contributes to the Times of India Mumbai Mirror, Rishimukh, that is the Art of Living Foundation, journals and periodicals across metros in India. Hi, Meher. Welcome to Medicircle.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So it is a pleasure, Meher, because I think people have become health conscious post COVID, and it is being as January being the Healthy Weight Awareness Month. So let's find out how to make people healthy and happier. So to begin with, Meher, people have this notion that loss of weight seen on the weighing scale means it's good. So what are your thoughts on the same, since there is something called as healthy fat and unhealthy thin?
Right. So, Smita, when we look at somebody who's very fat and somebody who's very thin, it's all about our muscle composition and it's all about our fat percentage. So, generally, I use the body fat analyzer when the patients come into the clinic. So, what happens is that it's the muscle weight which really matters a lot. Now, let's say we have somebody who's been, carrying weights and been weight training since a couple of years and has built on good muscle mass. So that person may show more weight, on the weighing scale. But when I look into the body fat percentage, the body fat is not more than 7% to max 12%.
Okay.
But the weight will show more because the reality is that muscle weighs more than fat. When I place a chunk of muscle on the scale or a chunk of fat on the scale, the fat will be less weight, shapeless, but the muscle will be firm, in shape, toned, and weighing more compared to the fat,
Okay.
which may appear the same from far.
Okay.
So now the whole thing is that muscle weighs more when put on the scale. So in that case, even if the patient is looking huge and carrying more muscle and showing more weight in totality because of the muscle, I will consider it as a healthy way, to be with that kind of a body composition. Whereas if there's a patient who comes to me who is very, very thin, but when I see on the weighing scale, on the body fat analysis machine, that the fat percentage is very high and the muscle composition is low, that's the time I will say, even if the person looks thin but has a lot of high fat, which is of no good. So, this is the answer to our question. It's all to do with the body composition. C has to again be, fast stretched to look into what is the body composition, which gives us the true picture of how healthy the person is.
So, Meher, can you explain in brief what are the best way to lose weight is?
Yes, Smita. So, first thing is when we talk about I will not say weight loss now, I will say fat loss.
Yes.
And you know why? We've just discussed it in the last few
Yes,
minutes.
definitely.
So, when we are looking at something like fat loss, it's primarily a lifestyle modification and it's got to do everything with the way we choose to eat, the way we choose to be physically active, the way our quality of sleep is, the way we handle our stress, the way we handle our emotions, because this is multifactorial. It's not something which is to do with a particular factor. There may be exceptions like medical reasons, like hormonal imbalance or very strong genetic factors which may toggle in. between for some cases, but most of the cases, in spite of being, like I've seen patients with thyroid, in spite of having all these kind of medical discrepancies, they still land up losing weight. I've seen even seniors, who are not like very physically active, and who have challenged medical anomalies like celiac sprue, that's something to do with the inflammation and the gut lining, and irritable bowel syndrome. So they have medical complications. They fall into the geriatric category, but still they land up losing weight. So I feel your inner mindset, and the way you are motivated to touch the goal is ultimately what matters. We've had exceptional cases who have lost wonderfully. That is, just by keeping themselves physically active and eating right, and of course mastering their mind. Like I've had patients who were hard time into alcohol, who didn't want to give up that kind of addiction, and gradually when they start doing breath work, they empower their emotions in a better way. They can control, and they can control and get to the right choice of foods, or staying away from alcohol, which was giving additional calories and so many things like that. And they sail back into their normal levels, of weight, the desired weight for their height and body and sex. So that's what I have seen. So I think it's all about the determination one procures, towards achieving, it's like mastering your lifestyle, and it's all inside us. That power is inside us. So we have to move towards it by saying hello to the energy sitting inside us. That could be via meditation, that could be via resonating with some kind of chants, or some kind of series on YouTube which resonates well with our energy and which helps it awaken. So there are so many ways, and ultimately it's up to us.
So I think it's more about the mind to think that yes, we can do this, and then they can definitely attain the ideal weight for them.
Absolutely, absolutely. So there's no looking back when one starts, and there are layers of combinations, which we have the patients go through, in the sense that the first time when they come to us, we take a recall of theirs and we make some changes. So then we ask them to maintain this 24-hour food recall diary after we've gone through their medical reports and all, and we've intervened with what kind of supplements they take, and all their reports are looked into, what is less, more, how they need to proceed. After we've given them the first time consultation, we expect them to come back with the diary, and they are also supposed to be exercising every single day. So it's a weekly follow up that we take care of. It could be digital, it could be in person, and then we look into what has gone wrong and where. We try guiding them, and once they have started following what you have recommended, they themselves see the changes, and then it's auto rolling. And of course the same diet doesn't work for like forever till the time they touch their target. We have to definitely alter it, probably in a few weeks, probably in like 20 days or a month. It will vary from person to person. We have to keep altering it, we have to keep trying different combinations, we have to keep making changes in the diet as well as the exercises till the time they touch their goal. Once they touch their goal, we take the last day's appointment where we tell them how to maintain. So that is also taken care of, because we don't want it, like half hanged man. Okay, once you've touched it, you should know how to maintain, which is again very, very important and crucial. So we have programs wherein 5 kgs is the target, like within 1 month. We have something like 7 kgs in 2 months. We have 10 kgs in 3 months and 15 in 4, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
So there are patients who go through this, and they have seen changes, and they're very satisfied, with those. So that's how it goes.
So I mean, but is the weight loss is a big challenge, or is maintaining it after you attain that ideal weight is a big challenge from your
So
experience?
Yeah, Smita, I feel it's all in the mind. If the mind is strong, neither this nor that is a challenge.
Okay.
It's, like the golden key is inside us, and we have to kind of use it and open up, the door for our well being. So it's all up to us. Of course, rationality as far as food choices go, and being an awareness of how much is going in and being in touch with your consultant and giving your 100% is utmost, of epitome. It has to be, up and up. It has to be your, main goal. Then only can you get there. So it has to be at the epitome of all your agendas. So
Mhm.
then only will you see the change.
So, Meher, what are the challenges faced by the health and wellness industry in India?
Yeah, so Smita, in our kind of a country, first and foremost, we have two kind of populations. One is the rural and one is the urban. Now, there is a lot of variance, even as far as the infrastructure of the country goes. The sad part is that even the soil is losing its nutrients, the core nutrients. So let's say, few decades back, if people were consuming crops grown from a particular soil, they were getting more nutrients. But in today's times, because the soils are not up to the mark, there is a nutrient deprivation coming with that kind of soil, especially use of fertilizers, insecticides. All this has definitely, made an impact on the assimilation of nutrients in the body. So we definitely need to supplement some specific nutrients if we see them going in a decline, is one thing. Also, in our kind of a country, there are many people who don't even have money to even eat one normal square meal. So that is a big challenge with our kind of an overpopulated country. Also, I would say even the urban population, by God's grace, they have too much. But the whole point is that there's no awareness, and there's over exposure of processed foods, canned foods, and refined foods, which is not getting, our urban population to having procure the actual nutrients which they need for their immunity. So that somewhere is being compromised big time. So I feel, these are some things which definitely have to be looked into. And I think we, as healthcare takers, have to spread the right, so that awareness has to be there. It has to be given to everyone to understand that this is the right way and there's no other way. So yeah, coming to that, I hope we get more aware and we work more with the preventive aspect, rather than waiting for something to happen and then taking care. And sometimes things go beyond control then. So the preventive measures would always be the best to look at when we talk about this. So yeah,
Oh,
that's it from me from that.
yeah, May, because I think we definitely need to take a call. I mean, there are so many bodies, there are so many healthcare experts who are actually helping people to lose or either gain weight. But yes, the main approach is because as we are such a big population country, we have some people who don't. I mean, there are different reasons and there are different problems to be supported. But at the same time, I think it is more of healthcare experts like you who should be coming forward and spreading the awareness that yes, it is going to help if you're really motivated, and definitely you can attain the ideal weight.
Yes, yes, I quite agree. Also, the funding as far as the grassroots level, rural workers go, and the villagers go, the amount of funding which is, taken up for that, or even agriculture, the farmers, they're going through a lot of challenges. So I think there's a lot of loopholes and, a lot of smoothing which is required in this aspect, which we all are, responsible for. So we all have to look into that and help things better.
Surely. So, Meher, since we are celebrating this Healthy Weight Awareness Month, would you like to share some thoughts, tips, or advice with our viewers?
Yeah, sure, Smita. So the first thing is, sleep well, take up some breath work, and try, touching with your inner energy. It may sound very weird to you, but actually, when we take up breath work, like I myself have been with Art of Living for almost 20 years. So there's a breath work like breathing pattern which we follow in that a kriya. Now when this is done, what is happening is that there's a lot of oxygen which is exposed to each and every cell of our body when we are going through that process, which gives our immunity a lot of boosting, and even many kind of clinical conditions, they come down, if one takes up this kind of breath work. Not only that, it's also, I feel personally, it also helps, in building up your kundalini shakti, I mean, I feel, once you take this up, you don't have to walk towards your goals. Your goals start coming towards you automatically. They just come and fall into your lap, So it's like you become a multitasker and you become a multi-facilitator. You can shine in your own light. You can help others shine in your own light. So I feel this breath work is a master controller even for your mind,
Yes.
So, yeah, that's one main thing to procure. Then is your lifestyle management, your good sleep, good hydration, good water intake, your physical activity. Officially, you have to take up, weight training or some form of high intensity yoga, or it could be swimming, it could be Zumba, whatever you love to do. And besides that, of course, when it comes to eating, now the basic principle is that once we take the recall, we deduct something like 500 kilocalories from that previous diet, so that we see a change of something like half a kg per week. That's the principle we follow.
Okay.
So one is you're burning up more calories because you become more physically active, and definitely then one has to focus on low calorie foods. So when we talk about low calorie foods, it's obviously about taking right amounts of protein, that's good high biological value protein. It's about taking a lot of fiber in the diet so that you're feeling full and you're not hungry,
Yes.
and you have all your core nutrients going in. It's also about taking good amounts of nutrients, so your dark green leafy vegetables, your yellow orange vegetables, and your healthy fats, coming from nuts and oil seeds. All these things have to be looked into. So, and your right quantity of carbs. So, of course, one cannot have too many fried foods or sugary foods. All that has to be barred out. Then changes like filling yourself up with low cal fillers before you indulge into a meal. So, lots of soups, salads, thin liquids like buttermilk, lemon juice, coconut water. All these have to be taken up as buffers, then indulge into your main meal. So, the right quantity and the right quality of each and every food group has to be looked into, and a diet is prescribed based upon, the previous history and the medical complications the person may have, and this is how we proceed.
Sure.
So as I mentioned, it's quite a lot of factors which one needs to play with, and one can get to the goal.
That was really great piece of information. So thank you so much, Meher, for sharing this vital info on how to maintain a healthy weight, because it is really important for not just for the overall health. It helps you prevent and control so many diseases and conditions. It also helps you lower your risk for developing these problems. And finally, you feel good about yourself, and it gives you more energy to enjoy life. So once again, thank you so much, Meher, for sharing this information with us, and all the best for your future endeavors.
Thank you, Smita, and thank you, Medicircle, for having me here, having given me an opportunity to, share the information. I hope many get helped, many take it up and get helped and get healed, and shine brighter and help many others. Thank you so much.